Okay, this working is to draw in clients. It's basically I've got someone who has an online business, so we want to draw some clients her way. You can do this if you're like self-employed, or if you work in some sort of field that you want to draw in more sales. That would be beneficial. Uh, Basically, I'll have to break down in the description what little bits and pieces I've used, because I've made a little mix of things. There's bits and pieces here. I've got let me see, I've got some cinnamon. Cinnamon's good to me, it jump starts things. And I've got geez, I can't even remember. Some bay leaves. I've got basil. I've got five finger grass. There's bits and pieces here, but I will do my best and type it up and put it in the description section. So, yeah, I'm calling on Bune. Bune is a spirit from the Ars Goetia, and also Santa Muerte. Santa Muerte is my matron, and I was going to go along the lines with St. Expedite, but something stopped me. This happens often. Sometimes I set out to work with a certain, saint spirit or whatever, and then I get a pull in a different direction, and I have to go with that pull because there's a reason for that. So it's just to let everyone know. If I say I'm going to work with St. Expedite and I do work with Santa Muerte, there's been a reason for the change. So I mean, it happens quite often. So yeah, I've got a little gold statue. It's only a tiny one, but the gold one is good for money, wealth. You can get them in green, but I buy these from Mexico. I really, 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 really like them. They come most of the time. They come intact. I did have one that I had to re-glue the little head, but it's easy done. So that came as a part of a two set. So I have a little smaller gold one. But yeah, this one is I use for money and success and things like that. So, and it's got all the little bits and pieces at the bottom. They put little beans and rice and stuff in there, and I'll go into this in further detail. But when you receive one of these, it's important to draw down her spirit and baptize it. Otherwise, it's just a little image of her. So, just to let you know that. So, I'm going to tell you about Bune. No, you probably already know about Bune, but I've talked about Bune before. And I had to see it, and it was sitting there looking at me, and now it is gone. 1 second. Okay, so I'll read from S. Conley's Demonolatry Goetia, as I always do. Bune is a duke. Bune's colour is green. Incense is sandalwood. Metal is copper. Planet is Venus. Element is earth. N is Welek. Melan Avej Bune Tasa. Pronunciation, sorry. Original purpose. He gives truthful answers. He can part the veil between the living and the dead and gather the dead. He can give riches and make a magician wise and well spoken. And then the author goes on to say, Bune is one of the Goetia's necromancy daemons. If you have a medium ready to channel the dead, invoke Bune to keep order and peace during the seance. He can impart understanding and wisdom about the nature of death. Again, very interesting. So I like to call on Bune for certain money spells, etc. And I've worked with Bune many times before with great success. Bune Clonic is another one, but Bune came to me in this instance. I think Bune is the correct one to work with. So she sent me some bits and pieces, some context that she has with regards to the business, and a bit of the web page. You could use your business card. You could use a copy of your business card. Like I said, a printout of your web page, just people's names. If you can print them off, photographs of people, contacts. That's so much the better. I've anointed the web page and the contacts with attraction oil. and I have a little petition here. So everything has been anointed, and I'm just going to put the petition around this, and I'm going to fold this towards me. So I did 5 spot, like a little dice. I used some money oil, and I used some Santa Muerte oil. Just use what you have if you're going to do this. So I used money oil, Santa Muerte oil, traction oil, wealth, riches, kind of. I make these oils up myself. So, and I also put a tiny little bit of honey in there. So you should have something like that. And what I'm going to do is tie this with a gold ribbon. Green would be good too, because of the correspondence with regards to Bune. Green would be fine, but I'm going to use gold. It actually looks yellow. And tie it 3 little knots. I'm also using sugar with regards to this again. So I'm placing this on top of the seal. So also I need to state, the seal I printed off the internet. You can find these seals on the internet and print them off, but I went over this seal with black pen, and that is when I slipped down into an altered state of consciousness, and that is when I pass the actual task onto the the spirit. And sometimes I get it's very hard to actually put into words, but sometimes I get impressions. Sometimes I get certain things pop into my head. Sometimes it happens later. Sometimes it happens even a day later, 2 days later. But when I'm writing it up, sometimes I get images or I hear something, and I'll take note of that. And if that does happen, I will tell you. But anyway, so that seal has been charged. It's open, and I'm popping this into the jar. So I'll do a video on seals because I think it's important, and opening seals and that kind of thing, sigils, whatever you want to call them. If anyone's interested, let me know in the comments section if you're interested in that. I know a lot of people have been asking, so I will get back to you on that. And I'm going to pop some just plain white sugar. Brown sugar's fine. I just don't have any at hand, but I'm going to pop loads of white sugar in there to sweeten up that whole situation. There we go. And so I've got the oils all put in there, and I am going to just add my little bits and pieces. So like I said, I've got 5-finger grass, and I have basil, and I have, like I said, a few things there. I'm going to pop in some cinnamon, which is really good to jumpstart the issue. Not the issue, but to jumpstart the, we want things to get, moving. Actually, I put a few oils in, just a tiny amount. It won't mess things up. A bit of communication oil between her and the suppliers. Really good. I always like to put a bit of Santa Muerte oil in. It does no harm. Traction. Wealth. But like I said, if you're doing something similar to this, just go with what you've got. I'm also going to add in some shredded money. This is real money, and it has been shredded, and I'm putting it in there because basically we want to attract money. So like attracts like, and I'm going to pop a magnet in there when I locate one. One moment. Okay, so I put a little bit of I put a little magnet in there, and I'm going to pop a little bit of, it's powdered down High Dawn the Conqueror. Actually, do I have any Crown of Success oil? That would be a good oil to use. bit of crown of success. Okay. A little bit of protection. So it's like a wall of fire. And now, client does gamble, uses scratch cards, lottery, games of chance, that kind of thing. So I thought it'd be a good idea to put little green dice in here because, as you know, it will, green being a good color, green is great. It's a real color, the color for money, etc. I associate green with the color of banknotes, etc. So the dice is green and I'm popping it in. So with the magnet, we're drawing everything towards the client, and we're sweetening things up with the sour jar. Excuse me. I'm so focused on this and doing the video. That's why I find these things a bit awkward at times. I should say, I'm used to doing majority of my workings not recording it, and at times it can be a bit, overwhelming. But just to say that, I'm basically, it's sympathetic magic. So we're drawing everything towards the client. We're sweetening things up with the sugar, the dice. That's for games of chance. And we've got some protection in there. And we've got everything we need, basically. And we're sweetening up her, people contacts and that. So that's what we've got. And basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blow into this and breathe life into it. Pop the lid on it. Give it a shake. Now what I'm going to do is I will burn a green candle on that one night for Bune, and then I'll burn it a few nights. I'll burn a little gold one to Santa Muerte, like so. These ones go on top perfectly. So yeah, I will alternate, and once I don't know, I think maybe around 9 days, maybe more, I don't know. Once I'm finished, then this jar will go for deployment, and I deploy it at the base of a tree. I have a lot of workings at the base of a tree, and these workings will never be found, not in my lifetime anyway, which is a good thing. But you could, if your jar is small enough, you could put it in a potted plant, and as the plant grows, that basically that's your spell manifesting and growing along with the plant. I've done that before, and with little trees, and I find it works really, really well. So it does. But yeah, it's simple. Well, it is simple enough to put the jar together, but you really have to call on the spirit and ask the spirit, put the request to the spirit, and all being well, things will work out. At the end of the day, we can't say how long it's going to take or how it will manifest, but when you do money workings, it's very important to write on the petition, or when you're communicating to with the spirit, to state with harm to none, because at the end of the day, you could inherit money. I've said before on the channel, you could inherit money from the loss of a loved one via like an insurance policy. Someone dies, so you don't want that. So it's important to say with harm to no one. Or you could lose a limb in a car accident or something and be paid out a lot of money that way. And sure, what good is that to you whenever you're so badly, you're in a predicament? So you don't want to inherit money like that. And at the end of the day, these spirits need to be told, with harm to none, so that we keep things right. Because magic, in my opinion, takes the easiest route possible. So we have to bear that in mind, So that's just my stroke on it. I'm sure others do things a different way, but that is how I would put together a little, work. And you can use syrup, you can use honey, but there's something about sugar lately. I really like sugar, and I'll just let that sit on his sigil for a while and see how things go. To build a business, it does take time, and the client is just sort of starting out. So hopefully this will help her and springboard her forward. But also with regards to the lottery, I've had a few inquiries with regards to the lottery. It's the lottery. There's so many people that are, involved in the lottery, and it's one of those areas that I don't like to get involved in all honesty. But you could use magic to help you win so much, but you're going to hit the jackpot. I don't think so. I don't think it works like that. But it'll do no harm if you want to incorporate some magic. It'll put you on the right path, kind of thing. Magic. And I also believe in manifestation, as in the law of attraction. I'm very, very big into the law of attraction, and that's why I tell the majority of my clients, if not all of the clients, to see in the mind's eye everything falling into place. I have been doing this since I was very young, and I know that it works. I have manifested quite a few things into my life, and if something is going a bit wrong, I can take myself out of that through manifestation. And what I do, I'll go into this in another video if anyone's interested. I actually journal. I would write things down and create my future via journaling. So, if it's something you're interested in, I can go into a video. I can do a video on that, should I say. I find it fascinating, and it really, really works. But it's important to see everything and see it falling into place. Doubt, if doubt is natural, but I think it's when you go so low that you can't get yourself up. I think that's when spells will not work. That's when you're building up, creating walls around you, and things will just fall flat. So it's important to be positive. It's important to see things manifest in your mind's eye, and as best as you can. I mean, even if you do doubt, still see it, still do it, because you will fool your mind, and then before you know it, you'll be thinking positively. So, hope it makes sense. It's thehouseofmagick@gmail.com, and I'll speak to you all again very soon. Just want to say thank you for all the new subscribers as well. Very, 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 very pleased. Thank you so much. And more videos on the way. So I've got the next 2 videos will be 2 Santissima Muerte videos for 2 ladies. I think they know who they are, and they are next. So they have priority, and they will be up next. And I have to shoot them an email as well. It's important. I'll get in touch with them soon. They know who they are. I'm certain of it. But anyway, it's just to let those 2 ladies know that I will be in touch very, very soon. And for all of you that are waiting on videos, you'll be getting them shortly. Apologies. It's been a bit hectic at this side. But anyway, it's thehouseofmagick@gmail.com. Have a great evening.